Hello, I have four Learning to Feel students with me today to talk about their work and what have they done this semester. To start things off, I wanted to ask about the exact details of this project. What was it about?
So our placement was it was with Canadian Art Song Project and Lawrence Williford, and we had 12 animation students all working together on creating an animated music video. And the song was about Bobby Hull, who's this Canadian hockey player, and specifically this one game in like April 1978 where his toupee like fell off halfway through the game. It's very like humorous and like operatic. We took a lot of style inspiration from like Hanna-Barbera, Hockey Night in Canada, and yeah, we're just here to talk about how it was working creatively in a team and how that can be really beneficial.
Okay, can you briefly introduce yourself and tell me what your role in this project is?
My name is Maya. I'm a third year animation student, and I was the storyboarder and animatic maker for this project.
Hi, I'm Angela Lynn. I'm a fourth year XN student, and I'm one of the two character design artists for this project.
My name's Jess, and I'm the animation director, and I'm in third year experimental animation.
Hi, I'm Sabrina, and I'm an animation student as well, and I'm one of the main animators on the project.
Amazing. I was wondering if you could talk a bit more about what you have been doing for this project.
Yeah, okay, so for me specifically, I was given some story beats and I was tasked with listening to the song to kind of figure out the overarching structure. I looked a lot at the references to Hanna-Barbera and early 80s, late 70s hockey graphics to kind of get a sense of what the timing of the story is. And then I started coming up with some ideas, brought them to the group, started sketching out some scenes, and then eventually I was able to put it all together into a storyboard and then time that to an animatic. So it's been really awesome getting those shots out to the animators.
I've been designing some of the characters. There's two character designers on this team, and I've mostly been doing the character design for Stan, the little mascot character / Peter Puck type stand-in and voice of the song. I expected it almost to be more difficult, but iterating Stan and like the different designs has been pretty fun.
I'm the animation director, so my role is kind of just the middleman, kind of like talking with Maya about like the storyboard and the animatic, taking that, turning it into a shot list, assigning all those shots to different animators, working with all the VizDev people and like getting down like the feel and like the style of the animation, making sure everything's kind of like cohesive.
Using Maya's storyboard, I and the other animators, we'd use the storyboard in order to mostly reference, but kind of go off of to create the various character animations so that they suited the song, and kind of like we put our own spin on like the movement, the mannerisms to kind of accentuate the characters.
Nice. What is your biggest takeaway from this project?
Yeah, for me, working in a group has been so rewarding because I understand that I have my strengths, and seeing other people's strengths, their own strengths, play into what I can do has just made everything a lot higher quality. I'm really loving what I'm seeing from this project so far. Every time that I get a new background or a character animation in the Discord, it's just so rewarding to see what I have drawn come to life. I think sometimes, especially in our early creative years, it can be a little bit of an isolating process, you know, animating alone in your room at 3 a.m. But with this, we're meeting every week and we're talking about our ideas, and we're really contributing to this one project. So I think that for me, my takeaway for this project is that definitely storyboards and animatics are something I enjoy making, but I also just really enjoy that group and studio environment and that teamwork.
I
have to agree. Working in a group is something also pretty new to me. I've mostly worked on, animating at 3 a.m. alone in my room. Character design as well is something sort of new to me. Like, I've done it before, but never in a serious context, especially not with, like, this group feedback that we're getting every single week when we meet up. And it's so interesting to see, like, the character designs I've made like come to life or like be animated or like being given critique as to how to make these designs work a little bit better or flow a little bit better within the confines of the world we've created. So my takeaway from it is just generally that, like, hey, I actually do really enjoy character designing, so I might look into that in the future.
This role's been also like kind of like new for me. Like I saw that animation director was like an option that we could like apply for, and I was like, you know what, sure, let's try it. I'm the kind of person who overthinks an email for an hour before actually sending it, so being like the person that like people are like asking to like approve their drawings and storyboards and like constantly be like talking to people, reaching out to them, checking in to see like what progress they've made, it's definitely new, but like I have found that I enjoy it, and I enjoy like the whole organizing thing, and I've learned a lot about like the animation pipeline and like the kind of things that like the little details that you wouldn't like think about necessarily, because you like in a solo project you're kind of just doing it, but like we had to like figure out like the brush sizes for the animators to use, so that was like pretty cool. I love working in like a team, and like everyone's like so talented at like their specific role, and it's really cool to just watch it all come together and just help them make it all come together.
Honestly, I think it's easier than I expected it to be. Like, it's so easy to kind of just naturally communicate between one another, despite us having like not vastly different roles, but different enough that it's like, okay, like you can give me feedback and I can give you feedback, and we kind of bounce off of each other. So it's like, it's definitely a fun project in the realm of like being professional. Like, it's a small team, of course, but it's like really like a step in the right direction, at least for me as an animator. My main takeaway, definitely like it's helped me to, I guess, streamline my process and, yeah, like communicate with other people in order to inform my portion of the project. So it's been really rewarding to just kind of learn these interpersonal skills in like a team setting, and I definitely I'm looking forward to doing more in that regard.
Is there any specific fun moment in the process or in like conversation throughout the process that you guys remember?
For me, I think one of my favorite moments in the process was actually the creation of Stan, because I started storyboarding before we had the Stan character, and we were talking about looking for a mascot character of some sort. And to kind of give context to anyone not familiar with the graphics that we're referencing, but there was a specific cartoon from the late 70s and 80s featuring this Peter Puck character, and we really enjoyed him and just the kind of narrative that he added to the Hockey Night in Canada story. So we wanted to kind of bring that character into our own world. So I was kind of going through for a couple of weeks with this narrator character that I was having a lot of fun with, but we didn't have an image for him yet. And as soon as Angela came out with the Stan designs, it fit the Hanna-Barbera aesthetic so well, and he was just so fun to play around with. So it took my storyboarding process to the next level, and it also actually really helped me develop the story further. We kind of really leaned into him, so it's been really fun.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Making Stan, I had a couple narrator / like Peter Puck like designs drawn up, but Stan I landed on like pretty fast.
My personal favorite thing to come out of Stan is front-facing Stan. He is my favorite thing ever. That and the accidental Yowie. Um, I just he's such a character, and he's so shaped, and he's so versatile. You can put him in any meme format, and it just works perfectly.
I think he became just like our group's mascot as well as
Yeah.
like the stand-in for Peter Puck, so that's why we kind of just gravitated towards him.
I think one of my favorite things too with him is in my storyboard, there's just one frame in the corner. For context, in early 80s hockey arenas, there was always a portrait of the Queen somewhere, and I wanted to kind of bring that in to kind of reference the time that this was happening. So just in the corner of one of the frames, I have this portrait of the Queen, but it's actually Stan as the stand-in, it's one of my favorite details for sure.
I think he ended up a lot more like sassy than I initially thought. It's fun, and like I'm glad he sort of actually became a character, and I'm glad everybody took him and ran with it.
Right now, we're in the animation stage. It took visual development took a bit. It took us a bit to get there, and then our entire team is made of like 3rd and 4th years. So animation's going slowly because everyone's in like independent project studio and thesis.
Yeah, definitely like slow going just because it takes a bit to get used to the style of characters and kind of familiarize yourself and how to like change the proportions but not like completely warp it so that it's not the same character, if that makes sense. It's better now that I've gotten some practice with like the first 2-3 scenes that I've got, but yeah, it's definitely like it has to look believable, but you also kind of have to balance it with being streamlined and efficient, hence it is a slower process than we probably would have liked.
Thank you for sitting down today and sharing your experience working together on this exciting creative project. I can't wait to see the results.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for
thank
having
you.
us.
Thank you for having us.